This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, good morning, Arpita.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah. Let's start today's session. Before going to today's session, any doubts from the previous concepts, Arpita?
Yeah, just one thing that let me check where it happened. Yeah. So in the keep rows section, so I selected the keep errors. Okay, so I don't know, whenever I was selecting the keep errors, my entire table is just getting vanished. So I didn't understand what's going on. Though my table didn't have any kind of error, but still I was just checking what will happen if I click on the keep errors. But whenever I was clicking on keep, already it is checked, because in the keep error section already there is a green tick, but whenever I am clicking on that keep errors, the entire table is getting vanished. That is one doubt I have.
Okay. Okay. Um, can you share the screen and show me what is exactly? I'll just make you as a presenter.
Okay, just a minute. Hmm. Yeah, just a moment. I need to. Uh, Okay, yeah, now I can. Um, Can ask the organizer to make you. Am I the presenter? Because the screen share option is not coming.
You're a
Let's
presenter.
to share your screen.
Just
Ask the organizer to make you presenter.
okay. I'm just giving you again. Make presenter. Are you sure you want to make Arpita the presenter? Yes. Arpita is
Yeah,
the new presenter.
yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. So suppose I'm selecting on this one, and I'm. Why this is going away? This table is empty. It's showing.
Okay. Can you go to the source, please? Click on source. Okay. You have full name. Full name 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the change type. Okay. Change type got changed to ABC. Okay. And click on keep errors. Kept errors as table is empty. Okay. Can you do one thing? Go to the view menu. There is a view top, right? Yeah.
Mm.
There's a column quality. Can you click on check on column quality, please? Yeah. Now please click on source. Okay. Now click on change source. Change type.
Yeah.
Okay. And kept errors. It's going wrong. Okay. Okay, it could be what I'm thinking is, see, your official, technically there is no error, okay?
Yeah.
But
There. Yeah.
kept error, yeah, kept errors means what's happening is like, if there is any errors, keep it error, correct? It will show only the errors. What is the concept being kept errors? Just keep only the errors, show me only the errors, rest take it out. If you see here what we have under valid column, there is a column quality, it's showing valid is 100%, data is valid, error 0%, empty is 0%. Okay, so for both the columns, so that means there is no errors, right? So when you click on kept errors, so it shows that the table is empty because there is no errors.
Mm.
If there was any error, then if you keep it on, if you select kept error, so only those, suppose in a table, now consider 2 and 3 row, second and third row had errors. Okay, so when you click
Mm.
on kept errors, so it will show you it will show you only the 2 and 3 error. So now you can do one thing, click on source again, back on
Okay.
source again.
Mm.
uh, just do one change, instead of third and fourth, just name it as 1 and 2.
Okay.
1, yeah, and 2. Okay, yeah, let it be fine.
Okay.
Okay, just give okay, save it. Okay, now go to change type.
Why it is
uh,
not showing error? It should be error, right?
yeah, changed, click on change type. Okay, do one thing. Maybe the transformation already we have done, right? So it is checking in that way, because sometimes text will take the universal character, that is
Mm.
alphanumeric.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
just try.
it would have been an integer whole number column. Then if I would have typed like the string, that time it should. shows
It should say
like
that it should say that data type conversion error because it doesn't know which data type you are using. So it will say that data type conversion error. Okay, for example, full name only. Try to change the data type now. For full name, just yeah, right click, change type, change type, change to whole number, insert,
change.
replace, or add new step, add new. Okay, no problem, anything. Okay, so the errors is there. Now click on the last step, kept errors. You
Hmm.
can see.
Okay,
Got it?
so let me do this again. Then okay, so now if so if it was coming as empty, since I didn't, there is no error to show. But
In your
if there
table,
is any,
yes.
okay,
If
if
there
there
was
is
any
any,
errors, then it would have displayed like this.
okay, okay. How can I come back to my initial? Like, can I change that? The name I have changed here.
Uh, no, source you cannot change. Do one thing, don't apply any change. Just click on close. Just
Oh,
click on close, and when you're closing the file, give don't apply and discard the changes and then come back.
got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. So let's start. Any other question?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So let me start sharing my screen. Let's go and see today's topics.
One thing, Manu, where can I get that week by week our plan? Which week, from which week we will be starting what? So you showed that in one of the
Yes, yes.
classes. Where can I get that?
Is it not shared by the management during the course discussion?
Management shared the link where I used to get the videos, but
Okay.
is there any kind of file where what I can get, from where I can see, or I need to go through the recording again? Because recording I need to check then exactly where you
Okay.
discuss.
I have this one. Just let me check. I can share it through here. I don't think I can share it to you. I'll do one thing. I'll put it into one folder or somewhere and give you access. Okay, and you
Okay,
can
sure,
access from there.
sure. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So starting the next concept, we finished from the home menu. We finished still split column, right?
Hmm.
We finished
Hmm.
split column. The last class. So we have pending group by, then we have just yeah, we have pending group by, then we have a data type, and this combine. This is very important, this concept, these group from group by to combine. So let's see to these functions today. Okay, so next
Okay.
is group by. Any idea what is group by? What does group by do, or why is group by is used in BI world? It's just not in Power BI, but group by is there in everywhere. If you take
Yeah,
SQL, group by will be,
realistically.
yeah,
Yeah.
everywhere group by will be. What does group by do? Any idea?
Group by is to group some to create some subset of a result which is specific to some group. Like there are similar kind of data that we want to group together and to create some kind of subset of the result. That's when we do group by.
Yes, what you said, it's a part of the answer. but most probably we will be creating a subset of already the table, but we will be creating in a aggregation form. Okay, so whatever
Right.
we do is like we'll be creating the tables or forming the aggregation tables. So let's see one example on Excel, and then go through then let's perform the group by function over Power BI.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take now, I have, for example, let's take a brand. Then for each brand, there is a sales occurred. For the sales, the amount has been recorded. So it's called sales amount. Okay. So now, for example, what would be the rows? Let's take Apple is one brand where it is the sales amount is Append for 30,000. Okay. 30,000. And next is Samsung. Okay. Then it is occurred for 20,000. Then again Apple for 40,000. Then let's take a different one now. Let's take maybe Redmi.
Mhm.
It's 5,000. Then let's take Samsung, again 10,000. Okay. Then I have a different brand now. Let's take Vivo, which is 15K. So now I wanted to know what is my aggregation for each brand. What is my sales amount aggregation for each? See, I have a number of transactions recorded in my transaction table, but I don't know what is the aggregation, right? I have to do aggregation based on my group, or based on my brand now. So how it will, if I apply group by function, how it will become? So it will become same way, brand and sales amount, which will aggregate or create the table in the form of, so I have Apple as one brand, which so from Apple, how many brands, how many repetitions I have? So 1 plus 2, so 30 plus 40, it's 70. So it's 70,000. Similarly, I have Samsung as the next brand. Samsung, how many repetition I have? 2. So 20 plus 10, it's 30. Next, I have Apple is done. Again, Redmi, I have only one record, so only one will be recorded, that is 5. Then next, I have Samsung, that is already done. Next, I have Vivo. Vivo, I have 15, so 15 will be recorded. Okay, so this is my aggregation now. I have got my what is the sales for each brand by it is aggregated sales by for each brand. Also, I would have also have the overall aggregation also. If I just give, I'll get the overall aggregation also. It's just not the this one, but I also get the overall aggregations from my brand, this one, and also my for each sales or for each brand, what is my sales amount. So this is group by, generally this is how the group by concept is in all BI world. So this is how we will be forming or creating the aggregation tables based on the group by conditions. What is group by conditions? So we would be requiring two group by conditions. That is, one, we should have one dimension value and we should have one fact value. What is dimension and fact? Because we would be applying group by function. See, if you see here, two cases happen. What happened is, one, we aggregated the amount. We saw the aggregation of amounts, so we applied some aggregation. What aggregation we applied here? Addition, right? So we added this and we added this. So to apply aggregations, aggregation can be applied only on the fact table measures. So this is my measure now. Okay, sales amount is my column where my aggregation has been applied. So aggregations can be applied only to the column nature where it has a whole number or a fixed number, fixed decimal number or a decimal number or a float number for this kind of data. Basically on numbers we can apply the aggregations. So I should, in order to perform the group by, I should have one column where I can perform the aggregation, and I should have one more column where I can group by based on my conditions. So group by condition should happen on the dynamic on the dimension value. So here my dimension is what? Brand. Okay, so this concept is clear.
Yes, so whenever what you were saying, like whenever we will be doing the group by here, mention Power BI, then always the group by has to happen on the dimension column, dimension table, and the aggregation will happen on the fact table. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
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 Fact table in the sense, more in the sense like it should be a number. Okay, it should be a number. Aggregation should happen only on the columns where it is a number type of nature, data types. Okay.
Okay, so
So
fact table and dimension table. Yeah. So the dimension table doesn't have any kind of number.
yeah, usually in this case we don't have. Okay, in the sample example which we have taken, but there would be a
Okay.
few tables. For example, if you take, this is my table now. Okay, this is my table. So both the table is recorded in the same one single table, right? Both the columns. So like this, if data is there, just one table, there is no fact or dimension. At that time, you can apply on the single table only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go and see the example now. So now we have an example. Okay. So let's see what can we do from this example, or what can we check on this example. Okay. So let me see, dim customer. What else we have? Okay. We have an yearly income from the dim customer. See, we have dim customer. Here itself, we have yearly income. So we have a column where we can apply the aggregation. Okay. So now, what other column I can apply? So example, I have a gender. Okay. Based on gender, I can see what kind of based on, I wanted to see the aggregation yearly income by gender wise now. I wanted to see my yearly income by gender wise. For male, what is the total yearly income? For female, what is the total yearly income aggregation? Okay, so let's perform that. So I'll click on group by option. Okay, so once I click on group by option, I already selected your gender, so that is why it automatically took gender. If you want, you can change it. Okay, so now I wanted my group by function based on gender, so I selected gender. Now new column name, what should be the new column name? Okay, new column name, you can give it anything based on your this. So I want aggregated gender wise, gender gender wise yearly income. I want my column name, new column name should be gender wise yearly income. What operation? These are the aggregation functions we have. Okay, default aggregations functions we have. That is sum, average, median, min, max, count rows, count distinct rows, and all rows. Okay, so here I wanted to perform sum. Okay, because I wanted to calculate addition of it, right? So operation is on sum. So now it is asking on which column you wanted to perform the aggregation. Okay, so my first column is already, I have selected gender, because this is a year on based on gender column I wanted to do my aggregate group by function. I have to apply group by function. Now based on the yearly income, I wanted to apply the sum operation. So yearly income is my other column. So once I select, I'll give okay. Okay. Okay, now you can see. So what's happening now? The whole table got grouped by, or it got aggregated, and it is showing the first the gender wise, that is female and male we have, which we have for them the aggregated yearly income. For female it is 52396,000, and for male it is 5352 8000. So this is my overall income, total income by each gender wise.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how it it will be grouped, and it will be storing or showing us the result. Suppose now if you want a group by, it's what we performed is on group by one column, right? What we if
Yeah.
we have to apply group by more than one column, okay, how does it happens? For example, let's see the data here. Okay, marital status is there. So now what I wanted to do is, for each marital status, let me make it little, I wanted to group by for each marital status. So we have married and single. For married gender, what is the total income? For married male gender, what is the total income? For married female gender, what is the total income? For single male gender, what is the total income? For single female gender, what is the total income? Okay, so let's group by in that way and see the results. So I'll click on group by function. Okay, I will choose here my group by should be, I'll go to the advanced option here. You have an advanced option here. Okay, so I'll click on advanced. So first I want it to be on marital status. Second, I have to add grouping based on gender. Okay, and you can keep on add the groupings. Okay, but let's take two example now, and my new column should be marital status and gender wise income, and my operation would be sum. My column would be total yearly income. Okay, now if I give okay, I got my table. Now for married male gender, this is my income, and for single male gender, this is my income. Okay, and the single female, this is my income, and married female, this is my income. Okay, so I got an aggregated of data, and I can apply my insights, or I can create the charts or visuals based on this data. So it is very clear, and I can directly show in a pictorial way and show to the clients. Okay, so this is how an example for the group by. Okay,
Okay.
suppose if we wanted to see on advanced editors, how does it look? So when you click on advanced editor, okay, you can see how it is applied. So for, you can see the last row, group rows. So table dot group. Okay, that is the syntax it is taken, and it is taken marital status and gender is my marital status and gender is the columns where the group by is applied, and this is my name which we have given, and this is the each list dot sum, that is yearly income, where we have taken list dot sum is nothing but the aggregation applied. Okay, and type is nullimal number, that is which is number, this is taken as a number, and there is no null. Okay, so this is the group by functionality, and how it works in this way. Okay, so go practice in your this one also, and let me know if you have any questions or any doubts.
Okay,
Okay.
just one thing. Can we just go to the group by option again?
Yes.
Yeah. And here the operation, if you click on the operation section, what does it mean by all rows?
Okay,
The
all
last
rows.
one.
Yes, let's do that. Okay, for time being, what I'll do is like to for you to show, let me keep only top 10 rows. Okay, now I'll do group by. Group by is based on gender. Let it be count. Let it be just, I'll just give some,
Okay.
or I'll just give all rows. All rows. I'll just click on all rows. Okay. So this means what happened? My no aggregation is happening. You can see my column, this is completely grayed out. Okay. So what it happens is like, do the group by, but don't perform any aggregation is what I'm saying. I don't want to aggregate my data anything in terms of sum, or I don't want to take average, or I don't want to take count or this thing. I just want to group my data based on gender, but keep all rows. Okay, nothing is happening. Just keep my don't apply anything. If I click on all rows, you can see my this column where we apply the aggregation column, right? It completely go blank. There is no options coming on. Suppose if I click on count distinct row, okay, or if I click on sum, okay, this column is appearing. Okay, if I click on average, the column is appearing. For the median, column is appearing, but for all rows, okay, the column is not appearing. Okay, so if I just click on OK, it will convert into the table form. Okay, so I have male, it is grouped now. I had the data is grouped. I have by male also, I have by female also. But if I click on the entire, I don't have the data, because I told I don't aggregate, give me all rows. Okay, if I click on data, what will happen? So I have here by I can select from which you wanted. So I wanted by yearly income. Now if I select by yearly income, see, by male I have, it is not aggregated. All the rows is there by gender wise, but no aggregation happened. Okay, so if you see here, all the rows where it has on the male, okay, I have the rows based on males. I have rows, my data is aggregated based on male and based on female, but the data is not aggregated. Clear?
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking where, in which kind of scenario we need this, that this is like we are doing nothing, then why this
Yes, yes.
function is.
This is like, yeah, it's very rare case. But trust me, honestly, I have not used in my these many years of my work life
Okay.
for this. Okay, most probably what we will use it is, it's always a sum. Okay, very rarely also we use the count. So it's always as average, or sorry, it was always a sum, or it is count rows. Okay, except these two, I have not used anything on my group by function. Okay,
Okay.
and this function is also released very recently, so maybe I'll just try to get any better use case for you in next class to
Okay.
show where can it be used. Okay, but
Okay.
usually all rows means there is no aggregation applied.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
my data will be group by, but there is no aggregation applied. So yeah, I'll try to get a better use case if where it is used on real world, but very rarely it is used. That I'm very sure, because it will not be used, because group by means it should be aggregated. So
Hmm.
without aggregated, the forming a table, there is no it doesn't make sense. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
yeah.
No problem.
So let's go to the next concept. So the next concept is what we have is data type, okay, which is
Hmm.
very most important topic. Again, it is just not on the just for the Power BI. It is dedicated. The data types is everywhere. If you take SQL Server, you will have the data types where you will have you'll be changing the data types or modifying the data types or define the data types when you're creating a tables. Okay, and also when you take the different tools, BI tools, or when you take on the different SSIS tool, where you will be when you're migrating or when you're integrating the data, right? When you're performing the integration from one source to the other source, there also you'll be changing the data type. And also when you consider Excel source, Excel also has its own data type functions. And when you take it SSAS, Excel SSAS also has its own data type. So data type is everywhere. And in Power BI, most of the cases, like there will be an error based on data types. It says data type converted issued. That is one of the most common Power BI error or issue you will face in real world. It says that data type is converted issue, and that is one of the error. And second error we saw today morning, like Arpita, you showed me that there are errors are there, but we are not sure. Like we have the alphanumeric in single column, but the data type is number. Okay, so it said that it couldn't convert and it gave us error. So how do we fix those errors? Again, that is a data type error itself, right? So what we will do, we will go and change the data type into alphanumeric there. So then it will get into change. So similarly, this data type error is concept is very important, and it has like most of the errors will be there in Power BI based on this data type concept. Okay, so let's
Okay.
see. for each data type, what does it give and what does it represent. Okay, so let's
Okay.
start. So if you click on data type, we have these like these many options. Okay, these many options are supported, these many data types are supported on the Power BI. Okay, so what is decimal number? Decimal number is nothing but a number category where number format has been applied with the points, with the decimal points. Okay, fixed decimal number is similar way where the decimal points will be fixed. Okay, and we will be using for aggregations, like we will be using for the aggregated columns like sales amount or total quantity or price. Okay, we will be using on the same thing. And next is
Is
old
there
number,
any
old,
difference?
sorry.
Sorry, is there any difference between decimal number and fixed decimal number?
A fixed decimal number is like you can fix the points. You can say that you will have like how many points you want, how many decimal points you want after the decimal. So based on the decimal points, the data will get rounded. The data will get rounded. Okay, in decimal number, you can fix it. You can show how many points you want after each one, but the data will not get rounded off. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
we can see one example in coming sessions.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, next we have a whole number. You know whole number, what is whole number? So similarly it's just a number, it gives in a number format. Next is if you wanted to see the data in percentage wise, you can click on percentage. Then date or time, where you will have both. So you will have a date and also the time, which starts with the 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. 2 a.m., where you have the date and time column. So suppose if you want only date, then you can choose date, and suppose if you want only time, from the date or time column, choose only time. And date or time or zone is nothing but it's a like a time zone. Time zone is nothing but it's like based on the geolocation, the time zone will change. Okay, so that is
Okay.
date or time zone. Next is duration. Duration is nothing but, for example, if you have to display only in hours, only in minutes, only in seconds, okay, then you'll be selecting duration. Next you have text. It's like text is nothing but a string. Okay, then true or false for boolean type of data, whether where you have yes or no. And binary, again, binary is like 1 or 0, where you will have the type of flag data. So suppose if you have a column like flag, if this is equals to this, give me 1, this is equals to this, give me 0. For that kind of data, you can use the binary. Okay, so these are the data types which is available in Power BI. Okay, and now excuse me. Okay, now you can see, for if we take the data column, where do we know the data columns are there? Where is data columns? If you see here, see if we take it in this example. Okay, if you see towards left side, there is called 1 2 3, a small box. Okay, for customer key. So this means it is already the data type is already, this indicates the data type. So each data type represents with its own icon. So if you go and see, this is own icon for each data columns. So if for key, we had it's as its own column, its own icon. If for first name, its own column. Okay, just let's see. Okay, you can see a true or false. So here also it has the own column, own data type, that is yes or no. Okay, and if we see here birth date. Okay, birth date, it is a calendar, it is a date, so that means it is showing the calendar symbol. So for each one, it has its own icon. Okay, and if I to move towards my right side, still you can see the dollar symbol. Dollar symbol is nothing but it's an amount, and it is in a format of decimal number, or it is in a format of fixed decimal number, but it is taken as it is represented as an amount. Okay, then similarly, if you take this is a decimal number. So this is being converted into 1.2 is nothing but it is converted into decimal number or a whole number. Okay, let's see. I'll just show you how can we change all those stuff. So this is the data types, each one is represented in its own icons. So suppose how do you change the data types? So for example, data types can be converted again. Now I have this data. Okay, I have this key, and I have this data. Now what you want to convert it? Okay, suppose how do you want, you will have two options to convert. One is if you just over on this icon. Okay, you will get this data types. Just over on this icon and click. click on that icon, you'll get this data types. So you can see this is decimal number is 1.2. Fixed decimal number is nothing but the dollar symbol, which will change according to the and according to the nature of data. If there is if the nature of data is something with the numbers or something, it will change it to fixed decimal number. Next we have whole number. Whole number is nothing but 123. Then you have a percentage, then date time. So you can see date and time, it has difference. So date time has with calendar and a small watch kind of clock kind of icon, and date it has only the calendar, and time it has only the clock again. And date, time or time zone, as I said, it's based on the location. So you have the map, a map icon with the time saying that it's based on the geo locations. Okay, then you have a duration. Duration is nothing but by hours or minutes or seconds. Then ABC is a text, and true or false is again which we have is a boolean kind. And next we have a binary. Okay, so here you can just click on change it. So I have already based on the old number. Now I'll just click on text. Okay, my old data got changed into text. Okay, here what happened now? So you noticed one thing. So before, I'll just take out. Okay, just see the difference. When I clicked on the when the before, my data was, the data was completely on the right side of the column, correct? Completely on the right side here. Why right side it was there? Because all the, if the data type is numeric type, if the data type is numeric type, right? If it is on complete numbers, then the data will be represented by left side. Okay, that is one kind of where you can find out whether in a simple way. Suppose if the data, like you didn't see the column names or headers, but you, if you wanted to just to see, like by seeing the data, if you wanted to find out which kind of data type is applied, you can see in this way. Okay, that is one way. So this right side is it's the complete column data is represented towards right side. So that means it is some numbers has been applied. So that means it is something data type related to whole number or a fixed decimal number or a decimal number. Okay, now if I change it to text, if it is a dimension value or if it is a text value, it will change it to it complete value will go towards left. So if I click on data type again, and if I change, so you can see the complete data shifted towards the left side. Okay, so this is how you can change it. Suppose now I don't want to change it in this way. I want like if I wanted to see how it is working, or if you wanted to see what kind of data has been applied. For example, let's take yearly income only. You wanted to see what data is what data type is already applied. You don't know the symbol, like you don't know what this dollar symbol means, or you don't know what is 1.2 means. If you wanted to see what kind of data type is already applied, so right click on yearly income. There is something called change type. Okay, just over on it. When you over on it, you can see which data type is already been applied. You will have this right like check mark. Okay, the right symbol towards the data type which is already been applied. So here it has already been applied to fixed decimal number. Okay, now if you wanted to change this to decimal number, so just take it on, click on decimal number. Okay, so now you if you, if you notice my what fixed decimal number had, for example, I'll just take over it. Fixed decimal number had by default two numbers, two decimal numbers. Okay, now after changing, what happened, it became as a decimal number. The decimals has gone. Now if I wanted to give a decimal, now if I wanted to if I wanted to give the decimal number here, I can increase it in the report end. By year it is not there. Okay, in the Power Query end, the decimal number as kept. It is an option for decimal number where the user can change it, but by defaultly it is not converting to any of the decimal number and aggregating the data. Okay, where it will be applied here, once if I come back to the my Power BI reporting or to the report canvas. So suppose if I click on dim customer here, and if I go to the yearly income, okay, I have yearly income. Now I can change it here. Okay, so you can see before it is fixed decimal number because we didn't apply any changes right now, right? So it's showing fixed decimal number. So here I can increase the here I can increase the number, like after this now I just increased 0, then I can increase 1. Okay, so we will have an option here. Okay,
For fixed
so
decimal number, right?
for fixed also, for decimal also, we will have an option here. Okay, but here when you come to the Power Query, you will have options only here. If you see, as soon as I converted to decimal number, I didn't have the points gone from the fixed decimal to this one.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so this changes can be done on the Power Queries. So you can change it from two ways. You can change the data type. One, you can just click on the icon and select which data type you wanted. But then next one, you can click on the right click on the column, click on change type and choose the column and choose the data type which you wanted to be changed. Okay, so usually what happens is like what kind of where do we get an error, or where what kind of errors we get is like the first one is would be date. Okay, this date column, right, where we have we saw the date. Just let me see, where did it go? Yeah, we have this date. Let's take birth date. Okay, so this column will usually be when we are importing, it will almost be formatted. Okay, but you have to do your sanity check from your end also. Almost formatted means when it depends on the source, from where is your source. If the source is coming from the data warehouse, so usually they'll apply the all this they'll take care of this data type consideration, data type checking, and the data will be almost formatted, but we have to do the checking again. Okay, but usually when you're taking anything with respect to Excel as a source, so when you're importing data from Excel, right, so sometimes Power BI will not detect what kind of data it is there. For example, like the column which we had this alphanumeric now. Okay, and we wanted that numeric as whole number, so it didn't know how to convert. This conversion error will come. It says that it is convert these values or string cannot be converted into whole number. Okay, so at that kind of scenario, we have to make sure that like the data type has been we have to choose the proper data type and we have to import it. Okay, and also for example date also, what happens when we in the Excel, right, when we are entering date also, it will not be some format. Okay, it will be in this way, that is hyphen 10 10 1917. So from some format it will be in this way. Okay, let's take it example of this. In some format it will be in this way.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and random people enter in this way, and some format will be like they just enter it the year and month, or they
None.
won't enter the sorry, the name and date, they won't enter the year, or they will enter it in this way, just last two digits 2022, not completely. Okay, so at this type the error will be coming, or it will says that it is not detected properly. All those errors you will be showing on the Power Query. So at that time you should just go and look what is the errors, where it is actually causing an error. So at that time you can keep this function called keep errors. You can check what are those errors for each line, then go and apply the transformation properly, or do the correct transformation properly and change the data type accordingly and fix the column. Okay, so that is where the data will also be fixed and it will all be formatted, and you will not have any issues in terms of in terms of after applying the changes, you will not find any issues or any data errors. Then the errors will be fixed. Okay, so that is one of the example where we found. So this is all about data types. Okay, so just go explore all these options and let me know if you have any doubts in the next sessions. So by default we have these are the data type options where we can perform it. Also we can change the data type on the Power BI end also. I'll show you that when I come to the Power BI on the visualizations. So similar way, where we have like we already have the Spanish occupation, all the stuff. If you wanted to change the data type, you can just change the data type over here. Okay, and you can just select what format you wanted. Format is based on the data type you select, the format will come. So you have the data type applied on the report end level also.
But is it recommended to change data type there? Because if we change the data type, then is in case of modeling, there won't be any issue, right? If we change the
Yeah,
data type.
it is, for example, for import mode, suppose if you're performing any operations and all, right, it's better to apply on
Mhm.
the Power Query. Okay, because
Yes.
the data is already formatted, and when you're importing, it makes sure that the formatted data has been imported, and no irregularities in the data, and there is no any anomalies in the data. But in case of, for example, why it is there here also, suppose if you're creating a measures, okay, this concept it will come in the coming days, where we will have creating new columns, creating measures, everything. Okay, so when you're creating measures will not be seen here on the Power Query. Okay, when you create measures and when you go back to the Power Query here, whatever measures you create, for example, under dim customer, you'll be creating one measure, but that measure will not be seen in the table on the Power Query. So for that measure, you have to change the data type. So where can you change the data type? Only here. Okay, you cannot change it on the Power Query end. So it is for that kind of scenario, you have to change it here. And next it would be, for example, if you take on the live connection, right? When you choose a live connection, again, you do not have Power Query enabled at all for the live connection to the data storage mode, which we saw. So at that case, again, if you're creating any measure and if you wanted to change the data type, again you have to do it in the reporting it in the front canvas itself. Okay,
Okay.
so if you are doing any importing data and if you have the columns here and if you wanted to change, it is better to do it at the Power Query end and come back.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So that is about all the data type options we have. So next we'll see next functions which we have is use first row as headers. Okay, this we already saw one of the example where we
Mhm.
imported excel file and we saw it. Okay, so use
Mhm.
first row as headers is nothing but this scenario will come based like most probably when we are connecting to the excel files, and where it has the null values or empty values in the rows or in the excel file when we are importing. And in that case, in order to formalize the data, we will use the use first row as headers. Okay, so let's see that example again. For example, let's take this example here. I have brand, let me delete this. Okay, I have this brand sales amount, so let me save this file. I'll give brand data. Oh, it's already there. Okay. Okay, I don't know why it is taking almost formatted. Let me take the
Yeah.
other example itself.
Mhm.
Okay, let's take our superstore example where we have this kind of issue. So let it load. So when I click on people, so we can see. So when I click on people, so it shows in column 1 and column 2. So here what happened, it Power BI when it was loading, it couldn't find which has to be the column names. It tried, but it couldn't find. Okay, so that is why it gave by default column 1 and column 2. So in this
Mm.
case, what will happen? We will load the data. Okay, after loading the data, okay, after loading the data, you saw that it got loaded data. So after loading, what happens? So you can see column 1 and column 2 is there, but I know that my column 1 should be named as person, my column 2 should be named as region. Okay, so for this kind of scenarios, and most probably this will be on the Excel side itself, like most of the data sources means it is Excel. When we're importing the Excel, we will face this problem. Okay, so at that time you'll be using this option called use first row as headers. Okay, so this will be use first row as headers. So once you click on use first row as the headers, it will automatically consider that as my column name and it will change the data. So in some cases where this second option use headers as first rows. So what will happen in some cases, my headers will also would be, for example, um, again I'll give you this person. Okay, so yeah, you can see now. So in some cases what will happen, there would be they will not detect the header names. What will happen, the first row itself, right, the first rows or the my data would only be treated as my column names. For example, now this Anna, Andretti and West, right, that completely took as my data column name itself. Okay, so in this case, what will happen for me? Should be that it's not an header. I mean, it's not an headers for the column names, right? So what I'll say, use headers as a first row. I have to bring it down. So I'll click on use headers as the first row. Okay, now I can change the column name. So this what kind of scenario when you'll face it? For example, you'll be importing a data type, so they will be copy pasting from some source and they'll copy paste it and they'll put it on one Excel file and they'll give you to do the do the insights on from this, or do the build the report they'll give you. So there is no column name they have defined. So they would have copy pasted somewhere, and by default in Excel also this column 1 will come, column 2 will come, or it will come A or B, correct? So when you copy paste the data into the Excel, right, it will detect into column 1 and column 2. But some cases based on the Excel file, what will happen, Power BI will detect, it will take the first row as headers usually. So it will
Mm.
think this is my header for the columns. So at that time, you know that it is not a header, it is also a data. So in that case, you have to push it back. Okay, you have to bring it down. So that time you will use this concept called use headers as first row. Okay, so after you using this headers as first row, then you can rename it. You can just click on the column 1 and you can rename the whatever column you wanted, and column 2 you can rename it whatever name you wanted and you can use it. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is all about the use first row as headers and this scenario. Next is replace value. Replace value is nothing but we also saw one of the example in the last session where we replaced hyphen with a hat symbol and in order to like do the splitting columns. Okay, so replace value is nothing but it usually this we will use it in terms of I'll just delete this. This we will use it in terms of replacing the null values. Okay, so there would be an interview question. What would be the interview question is like, how do you replace values? Okay, or how do you replace null values? So what concept you will be using it. So this is very important. So they will be asking you the question like, how do you control or how do you manage the null values, or how do you show the null values, or how do you replace the null values? So that option what we have is using the replace values. So we manage the null values or blank rows or the empty values using the replace function. Okay, so let's see that. So how do we replace it? So usually if we have null, for example, now you can see here I have this green line. Okay, what does this green line indicates means it shows that my column is completely valid, the data is completely valid. Okay, let me enable that column quality. So you can see it shows that it is completely valid here. Okay, it's completely valid 100% and errors are 0. Suppose if I select on title, it says that it's not completely valid. Okay, if you see here, empty is 99%, valid is only 1%, less than 1% means 0 point something. But let's take in a round figure, it says that only 1% it is valid. The complete empty is 99 because there are empty cells. So okay, there are empty cells, so that is why it is not valid. There is no errors, but my data is not valid because there are empty cells and there are null values. So in this case what we will do is we will replace the values. Okay, so I'll click on titles. Okay, what I wanted to do is like I'll replace the values. So I'll click on replace value. Okay, a value to find, what value do you wanted to find? Okay, I wanted empty means null. Okay, okay, there is a difference between empty and blank rows. Okay, or null and blank rows. What is the difference? Okay, null means it is empty. That is wherever you have you can see this null means it is an empty. So that is why it is showing, it is not showing blank, instead it is showing empty. Okay, what does mean blank? Blank means complete white space. Okay, there is no values here, there is nothing values, or no dot, no alphabet, nothing. The entire cell will be completely blank. How you see in Excel the row cells, right? Similar way it will be completely blank. Okay, so that is a difference. Just let me note it on here. Empty.
Empty and blank, right?
Yeah, empty and blank. Empty means it will say null. Okay, but in blank means it is completely no data at all, no data, or it will be white space. Let's consider completely white space. Okay, so this is the difference for empty and blank. Okay, so when in an interview if they ask how do you treat null values, so how do you treat null values or the empty values in interview, you can say it is using the replace values function. Okay, now what to do, I have value to find null. Okay, I'll just give null and replace with what? How do you replace it? Usually all the null values or empty values we will be using with NA. NA means not applicable. Okay, so I'll just click on NA and give OK.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can see my difference here. It completely became, my data became invalid 100%. Before it was 1% because 99% was empty values, null values. Now I have replaced null into NA, so my complete values were valid is 100% and error is 0 and empty is also 0. Okay, so in this such kind of scenarios we will be using the replace values. Okay, yeah. And also similarly, suppose if you have here also we can choose the null values and null can be replaced. For example, if you wanted to show how do we replace the blank values, I'm just saying do we have any blank values here? Okay, if not, let me enter a data. Okay, let me take column 1 as a test and let me have some names. And okay, and I have 6 rows now in which 2 is empty. Okay, I'll import this now. Okay, you can see now I have at least one empty value I got it. Okay, so it says that valid is 80 and empty is 20% because one is having the empty value. So what I'll do is like replace values. Okay, value to find, so it is empty, so I'll just give blank. Okay, and replace with NA and give okay. Okay, so
Okay.
like empty means there was nothing, so that's why I didn't enter anything there. Okay, I just went directly to the second column, and I decided what it should be there. When there is a blank row, this is the second row was completely blank, right? So I have a blank row that is empty entirely, there is no data there. So it is empty cell, entirely empty cell, there is no data at all. So there what I wanted to be fixed, so I wanted to fix it as NA, so I gave the NA. Okay,
Okay.
so this is how the replace value works. Fine. So this is about all functions which we saw group by data type function. Then we saw use first row as header scenario case and replace values. Okay, next we have is merge queries and append queries. Okay, which is a very important concept in like very important concept in Power Query. So they will interviews will definitely ask what are the different types of merge operations you have, what are the append, what does append do, what is the difference between merge and append. So these are the questions interviews will be asking. So let's see the complete let's see the complete options, or let's see the example by tomorrow. We'll open to each and every operations, and we'll perform each and every operations and finish this tomorrow. But before that, I'll just go through what and all kind of different kinds of merge operations we have. Okay, um, and then end the today's class. So let me just go through that joins. Okay, so if you see here, we have joins options. Okay, so we have 6 different types of joins. So before merge, what does merge means? Any idea? What is merge?
Merge means there will be two tables, and those two tables data will be what would I say, merged means merge means combined depending on
Yes,
some condition.
yes, correct. You're correct. So merge means nothing but we are doing joins. Okay, we are joining or merging or combining two or more tables. Okay, in all based on the conditions, based on with the, what is that condition, we will see that condition in coming tomorrow's class. But we will be joining or combining and making as a one single table. Okay, from 2 or 3 more tables we will be combining together based on some condition and create making as formatting as one single table. Okay, that is merge. Okay, usually it is also called as joins in Power BI. Okay, it will because it will perform the join operations. In interview, right, they'll ask you the questions like which function will perform join function and which will perform the union function. Okay, in order to test our knowledge, they'll perform you which will perform join operation, which function will perform join operation, which function will perform the union operation in interview. Okay, so merge will perform the join operation. Merge will perform the join operation. Okay, and append function will perform the union operation. This is very important because most of them will get confused. Okay, so this is very important. I'll just put it on the chat window.
Okay.
Okay, So that is one difference between merge and append. Okay, so coming to the merge means nothing but we discussed joins. Okay, so joins means you would have heard SQL joins, where we have this left outer join, right join, full outer join, inner join. All this concept we would be seeing in joins. Okay, similarly Power BI also has 6 different joins. So one is left outer join, right outer join, full outer join, inner join, left anti join, and right anti join. Okay, each one we will see tomorrow, like what does it where do we use it, and what does it actually perform, we'll see with an example. So in simpler words, before just to give you a description about it, left outer join means it is like completely it will take the left table
Yeah.
along with the matching records. Okay, so the intersection what you're seeing is between the two tables, that is table A and table B. This is a matching records. What you're seeing is, so when we do perform the left outer join, what will happen? It will first consider all the records from the left side, and also the only the matching records between the two tables. Okay,
Mm.
the right outer join is exactly opposite to it. So first it will first it will show completely all the records or all the data completely from the right side, that is table B, and between the matching records between the table A and B again. Okay, full outer join means it will show complete table from the full table A and complete records from the table B and also the matching records. Okay, that is full outer join. Inner join means only the matching records between the tables. Okay, it doesn't show the complete left or the complete right, only the matching records will be shown in the inner join. Okay, left anti join. Left anti join means the opposite of it. What does it do? It will show completely left table, but not the match table, but not the matching records, instead of unmatching records. It will show the completely unmatching records, not the matching records. You can see matching records is not shared. It will not
Yeah.
show the matching records, or it will not show the right table records. It will show from the left side itself completely. It will show the unmatched records. Similarly, right anti, so it will not show the left records or the matching records. It will show completely on the right tables record, that is right side data. Okay, that is right side unmatched data. So these are
Okay.
the 6 types of joins we have, where we will perform on the merge using the merge function or merge operations. Left outer, right outer, full outer, inner, left anti, right anti. Okay, so tomorrow class we will see each one what does it do, and we'll perform with an example.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Any other question?
No. Just one thing to remind you, that if you can share the plan that
Yes, sure. I'll definitely try to share, or also I'll ask the management to share with you the contents, or I'll just see where I can place it, one common share folder, so that where I can place it and share the link to you. I'll just do it, or just drop me your email ID. I'll just put it on your email for if in case if you want it. In
Mm.
by like an urgent, if you wanted to look into it, drop me your email ID. I'll just drop to you or send it to your. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just send it to you, the contents. Meanwhile, before I create any common shared path. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fine, Arpita.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's meet in tomorrow's session.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.